Details just coming in from Paris after that catastrophic fire at Notre Dame Cathedral. This morning, one of the world's most beautiful churches ravaged and in ruins. The colossal damage now revealed at Notre Dame. The first picture showing the scene inside the centuries-old cathedral after flames shot through the roof, the famous spire crashing down. As hundreds of firefighters battled the blaze and millions around the world watched on in horror. The race to save some of the world's most precious religious relics stored in the church. And now the investigation underway as Paris promises to rebuild.
Also this morning, Congress bracing for the Mueller report about to be released to the public as Democrats target the president's finances with new subpoenas. What the president said overnight.
New trouble for Boeing. United now joining two other airlines, canceling all 737 MAX flights through July. How it could affect your summer travel.
A new twist in the college admission scandal. As actress Lori Loughlin and her husband plead not guilty, reports some of the children involved could now become targets of the investigation.
Dramatic rescue. Body cam footage shows the race to save 13 people trapped in rough waters after their small boat capsizes. We hear from the passengers this morning.
And shock and awe over this record-making comeback on the court, the Clippers battling back from a 30-point deficit to crush Steph Curry and his champion Warriors, the biggest comeback in playoff history.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday morning. And I think we're all going to remember where we were when we saw the first images yesterday. And we're going to look now live at the Notre Dame Cathedral, one of the most famous churches in all of the world. A symbol of Paris, a site 13 million visited each year, still standing after that devastating fire.
Survived the French Revolution, survived World War II. It has survived this fire as well, but the flames destroyed so much. We saw that spire come down. The roof collapsed as well. Here's what it used to look like inside, and here's what it looks like right now.
But there is a symbol of hope there. Take a look. The cross and the altar still intact, surviving the flames and the falling debris.
Hundreds of people gathered to pray and to sing last night, and this morning the city of Paris is promising to rebuild as crews assess the extent of the damage. We're learning about incredible acts of heroism. Our foreign correspondent James Longman is there on the scene in Paris with the latest. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. This really was a catastrophic fire. Take a look behind me. All that you see is sky just above the structure there. That was where the roof was, and it is entirely collapsed. And all morning we've been seeing building workers up on that building taking a look at the towers to make sure that it is still structurally sound. But it really is a miracle that this building wasn't more badly damaged. This morning, Paris, the city of lights, still dazed after a massive blaze ravaged historic Notre Dame Cathedral, the more than 800-year-old heart of the French capital. Searing images as the cathedral glowed from within. In this one, you can see the gaping hole in its once majestic ceiling. French officials say the fire began at around 6:50 p.m. local time, but spread quickly.
Just standing on our balcony, you can smell it in the air. It's happening right in front of us.
And then this moment of horror. Notre Dame's iconic spire crashing down. Paris, the world, could only look on in despair. Part of the roof also collapsing. American student Kelly Weymouth took this video of that catastrophic moment.
We started seeing parts of it just kind of fall off of it, and everyone was like, oh, it's going to come down. Like, there's no way it's stable enough to stay up. So people were recording, and I just happened to get the moment where it just collapsed, and you can hear everyone just go, gasp. It was really, really sad.
Onlookers stunned, some unable to hold back tears as the fire raged on.
You could really smell that it was old wood that was burning, and the heat. I was 150, 200 meters on the opposite bank of the Seine, and you could just feel the heat coming off towards you.
Nearly 500 firefighters battling huge flames in a race to save what they could of the 13th century cathedral. The blaze engulfed scaffolding from a $6 million renovation project. Investigators are looking into whether a construction worker could have accidentally sparked the inferno. By nightfall, 5 hours later, the fire was contained, and news came that the main structure and its iconic towers were safe, but trepidation over what damage would be discovered inside. The cathedral is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world, attracting 13 million foreign visitors every year. But this is the heart and soul of France. So now, 3 hours later, it's just sadness and despair. It's like a mother to me in a way, so I really had the impression that my mother was being taken from me, and I was very sad. And while firefighters were trying to beat the flames from outside, deep within the cathedral, a human chain was formed to salvage priceless art and religious relics, like the crown of thorns and the tunic of St. Louis. The mayor of Paris tweeting out this picture showing just some of the major works that were rescued. French President Emmanuel Macron emotional as he addressed the nation outside. The worst was avoided even if the battle has not been completely won. This cathedral, we will rebuild it. Crowds gathered outside the cathedral in prayer and song. In this Easter week, Paris hopes its most cherished monument will rise from the ashes once more. We are hearing some extraordinary stories of bravery this morning, like, for example, the chaplain to the Paris Fire Brigade, who last night rushed into that building to save some of the most important religious relics. This, by the way, was a man who was involved in saving people in the Bataclan attack here in Paris. He saved, among other things, the crown of thorns, the crown of thorns that Jesus wore as he ascended the cross. So there is a lot of hope here in Paris, but a lot of work to do, of course, to rebuild it. $300 million or thereabouts has already been pledged, including $100 million by François Pinault, who is the husband of Salma Hayek. I'm sure a lot of other donations will pour in, but there is a lot of work to do to get to this building back to its former glory. Robin?
All right, James, thank you. Joining us now is Valérie Pécresse. She is the president of the Île-de-France. Paris is part of that region. And ma'am, we know that you have been with firefighters there on the scene throughout the night as they tirelessly put out the fire. Tell us what that experience was like, ma'am.
We are terribly, tremendously grateful to the firemen of Paris, because they really saved the cathedral, because they went to fight the fire face to face.
And tell us about the emotions during the night.
The cathedral is the heart of Paris, and it's like, you know, like when your home is burning, and the whole people of France was crying, and the cries had no color, no name, no race, no parties. It was the whole of France was really upset.
Your region, which you oversee, Paris being part of that you're going to make sure that 10 million euro is available for the rebuilding. Other lawmakers have come through. Everyday citizens have come through donating money already. Just as you alluded to, this is real solidarity, is it not?
Yes. The Archbishop of Paris told me this morning, he said, you know, my cathedral has been destroyed, has burned, but I have a whole people backing me up. I have given 10 million euros as an emergency gift to the Archbishop so that he could have the money to do the first works that are needed now to secure the cathedral.
And 13 million people from all around the world come to visit the cathedral, as we know, centuries old, but we know that the altar and the cross, thankfully, are still intact. And ma'am, that's a real sign of hope. So what do you want people around the world and there in your beloved Paris to know as the rebuilding will begin?
Just tell them that the cathedral is still standing, and it's quite a shock, because we know that inside it's broken. Inside there is no more roof. Inside we need to rebuild. The big tower is not here anymore. But when you see it from the outside, it's still standing, and that's quite a miracle.
Well, ma'am, I hope that you feel the love and support from people here in the U.S. and all around the world. And thank you very much for your time.
And I tell them, come to Paris. Come to visit. That's the best tribute you can pay to the cathedral.
Yes, ma'am. Merci.
Merci to you too. Thank you.
It is reassuring to know the rebuilding has already begun.
Yes, and we will continue to cover this throughout the morning, of course.
And I love the message, still coming to Paris.
Absolutely.
We're going to move to Washington now, where Democrats in Congress are ramping up their investigations into the president's finances, with subpoenas to his longtime bank and accounting firm to determine any conflicts of interest or improper financial maneuvers. Our senior congressional correspondent Mary Bruce is on Capitol Hill with the latest. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Georgia. Democrats here are really stepping up their fight for the president's personal and business financial records, issuing subpoenas to several financial institutions and the president's longtime lender, Deutsche Bank. This is all part of their ongoing investigation into potential foreign influence over the Trump organization. Now, Democrats say they're simply fulfilling their oversight authority here, and Deutsche Bank has been cooperative in the past. But Eric Trump, the president's son who oversees the family business empire, is calling this, quote, an unprecedented abuse of power. And George, separately, Democrats have also served a subpoena to the president's accounting firm seeking a decade of financial records. But, George, there is some indication that the White House plans to fight that request as well.
And we've already seen a new hard line from the president's private lawyers against turning over his taxes as a new deadline is approaching.
Yeah, George, the president's legal team is blasting this move, accusing lawmakers, saying they have no right to act like a junior varsity IRS. They say this demand is unconstitutional. In a letter, the president's lawyers making a direct appeal to the Treasury Department not to comply, warning that if they do, it could turn the IRS into a political weapon. George, Democrats have set this deadline 1 week from today for them to comply, but it certainly seems that this fight is more and more likely to be fought out ultimately in the courts.
Mary Bruce, thanks very much. And as those investigations are getting started, we now know that Attorney General William Barr will release his edited version of the Mueller report to Congress and the public on Thursday. Democrats are demanding to see the whole thing, and President Trump addressed the release with our Minnesota station KSTP.
I heard it's going to come out on Thursday. That's good. And there can't be anything there because there was no crime. There was no anything. The crime was committed by the other side. This crime was all made up. It was all a fabrication.
Our Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas tracking all the latest. And Pierre, what more do we know about what we're going to see on Thursday?
George, good morning. That's right. Big day coming Thursday. We've seen less than 100 words out of that roughly 400-page report. We're hoping to find out how many Trump associates were in contact with Russians, what were the details of plans for a possible Trump Tower in Moscow, and how hard did members of the Trump campaign try to find out and get information from WikiLeaks about those emails hacked by the Russians from the DNC. And then there's Mueller's findings on the questions of obstruction of justice. He did not exonerate the president. We're likely to see some specifics of what Trump did that concerned Mueller, and we're expecting to learn what Mueller was struggling with and why he could not make that final call. Now, we don't expect the bottom line to change in terms of whether the Trump campaign colluded with the Russians. We know the answer to that is no, George.
Well, we know that they didn't. There's no evidence of a conspiracy with the Russians. Meantime, the president has been pushing for months now to investigate the investigators, and some indications that the attorney general is going to comply.
George, Barr said he's going to do a review of how this whole Russia counterintelligence investigation began and how the decisions were made to determine that there was enough evidence to conduct surveillance on someone affiliated with the Trump campaign. Barr says he is concerned and wants to know if the decisions were proper and if the threshold for seeking court-authorized surveillance of someone associated with a political campaign needs to be changed. We may learn specifics of that review this week. Whether this will be enough to address the president's demands is unclear, George.
Pierre Thomas, thanks very much, Michael.
All right, thank you, George. Now to a new severe weather threat that is brewing, potentially targeting millions from Texas to Iowa. And this is coming after days of violent and deadly storms. Ginger has the latest. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning, Michael. Good morning, everybody. I want to start you out with this unbelievable video from the storms yesterday. Watch as that utility worker tries to get a line down. It explodes. So you see the power and the fire all just erupt. Well, around him, he runs away. Well, thankfully, he had all the proper equipment on. He was told that that line was de-energized, by the way, so he wasn't doing that out of step. Also in Millersburg, Pennsylvania, the straight line winds that take down the tree, then rip that roof off on surveillance. The line of storm so strong, it also had 3 confirmed tornadoes in Pennsylvania alone. Let's go ahead and over now. I need to show you where this next severe threat is going to come into play. It's tomorrow, and it's a couple of lows that are going to come together. Violent storms possible from Oklahoma City right through Dallas and Fort Worth. Austin, Texas, you're included too tomorrow. Robin?
All right, Ginger, thank you. Now to new trouble for Boeing after those 2 fatal crashes. All of the 737 MAX jets are grounded, and now United Airlines is joining Southwest and American, canceling flights on those planes through at least early July. Our senior transportation correspondent David Curley is in Washington with those details. Good morning, David.
Morning, Robin. As you mentioned, United, the latest, raising questions now about the very busy summer travel season. Could be a record travel season. How will this affect it? United is saying that it will cancel flights through early July on its 14 aircraft, joining American Airlines, which has already canceled its 24 aircraft all the way out to August 19th. And the largest owner of the jet, Southwest, canceling 34 aircraft through August 5th. The airlines are moving quickly, trying to avoid ruining anybody's summer vacation. The bottom line, some travelers may have to go through a connecting flight instead of a nonstop because of the cancellations. The bottom line for these three airlines, very costly. Michael, by our calculations, at least 7,000 flights have been canceled since this aircraft has been grounded. Michael?
Going to be inconvenient, but hopefully a lot safer. Thank you so much, David Curley. And now to that dramatic rescue that's caught on camera. Crews racing to save 13 people struggling in the water after their boat capsized in the Gulf of Mexico. ABC's Victor Oquendo is in Miami with the details.
You're watching body cam video of an urgent rescue mission at sea. A small 20-foot pontoon boat taking on water in rough seas, capsizing and leaving a group of 13 clinging to whatever would keep them afloat. Many didn't even have time to put on life jackets. This man quickly pulled aboard the Marine unit. Seconds later, we see this group huddled together tightly on top of what appears to be debris, their belongings, and parts of the pontoon. A deputy signaling for them to hold tight as they pull another man to safety. Then they move in, carefully navigating the strong winds and choppy water before throwing them a rope and eventually rescuing them one at a time. It all happened Sunday near Anclote Key off Florida's west coast.
I got you. I guess you can.
The sheriff's office rescuing 10 of the 13, the other 3 saved by another boater who was nearby.
If it wasn't for that guy, I don't know, we would still be out in the water right now.
Some in the group did not know how to swim, but luckily everyone survived.
You get one person that goes in the water and you get them out, it's a good day. But to do it 13 times without anyone seriously injured is a miracle.
Now authorities investigating why that many people were on such a small boat, especially since rough water conditions had led to a small boat advisory in the area. When the emergency call came in, the crew that responded was actually at a ceremony. They had just gotten their boat blessed. 10 minutes later, they were saving all those people. Robin?
My goodness. All right, Victor, thank you. And now this morning, we are Boston strong. We have an amazing moment from Marathon Monday for you. That's military veteran Micah Herndon from Ohio, who ran in honor of his 3 friends who were tragically killed in Afghanistan. And you can see he refused to give up, crawling across the finish line. Before the race, he said, if I get a heat cramp while running or my feet hurt or I am getting exhausted, I just keep saying their names out loud to myself. They went through so much worse, so I run for them and their families.
What a striking image right there.
It really was.
That was some. We have a lot of other news we're getting to this morning as well, including a new twist in the college admissions scandal. Lawyer Loughlin and her husband are pleading not guilty, and now some children may become targets of the investigation. We'll tell you all about that, but first let's go to Ginger.
Yeah, the Red River in Minnesota is still rising, and so you're going to see images like this. This is a town that's been cut off and still will be, Oslo, Minnesota. They've had to have actual boats that get supplies in and out. That's how bad this flooding still is. So spring melt still on the way, and more rain on the way too, especially down in the southeast. We got more coming for us by the end of the week too. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First though, we've got to get the Tuesday trivia, sponsored by Samsung Galaxy Phone.
Do you want to charge?
What you think of me now? How you like that? How you like that? What you think of me now? How you like that? What you think of me now?
Higher temperatures today and less wind. Today, expect temperatures to climb through the mid-50s late morning. We'll get up to 70 degrees during the afternoon hours. Just a nice afternoon for us. Meanwhile, higher temperatures by the end of the work week, Thursday and Friday. Higher humidity, too. And with the next big weather maker coming in, looks as though we could have on Friday some very strong storms going into the evening hours. That storm system, lingering showers on Saturday morning. This weekend, maybe even a passing shower at Easter.
Is channeling Barbara Eden? Yes.
We'll be right back. Welcome to Sun Springs Retirement Community.
What brings you here? Oh, I'm just here to die.
Uh-huh.
When you've got nothing to lose.
You were a cheerleader.
My mother was sick, so I quit the team.
Maybe you should give it another shot.
Nothing can stop you.
We want to start a cheerleading.